Cue the music, let's go. I'm your boy Ro, managing editor for the new OBB Legend and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys. Come check us out at the Legend if you haven't already, and welcome to X's and Ro, the series where you have questions and we've got answers, sometimes good ones. First question's coming in from King Kane 13 at Kane's Gang 1313. What is preventing them, QBs, from finding guys seemingly running free in the middle of the field? Guys have been open. You're right, guys have been open. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes they're missing the reads. Sometimes it's pressure. I kind of dialed up a couple plays. We're going to just go on a ride real quick. First one right here. Even on a completion with Jake Garcia, when the quarterback's looking here at the double move at the bottom of the field and decides to throw the ball, he's kind of locked in on a target. He throws the ball. Yeah, we do have something wide open in the middle of the field. There it was. But this is a good ball. Okay, next play, next clip. Now, right here, you're going to have a tight end later leak free in the middle of the field. And I know that seems obvious on tape, but when you're asking the quarterback to throw the ball 1, 2, 3, this is what he's looking at. One-on-one matchup, you got to win that outside, right? University of Miami couldn't against Middle Tennessee State, and that was, I think, a little bit even more concerning. Little chip at the line. And there you go. Yeah, okay, maybe we got a drag that's coming free. Maybe this is open, but the reality is the quarterback's already thrown the ball. Okay, on this motion, this is a play-action concept. There's going to be somebody open in the middle of the field. You tell me if Tyler even has the chance to get this off the ground. Look, no real plan for the blitz here. They aggressively are playing this play-action. They blow this up. So when you have somebody free in the middle of the field, Tyler never had a chance. Okay, next play. Now, this one I can set on Tyler because – the reality is the first read that he's looking for, and we're going to agree here, when his eyes are right here coming across the middle of the field, he sees that it's covered. Now, I think the progression should have been, and if this is a progression that's off, we need to adjust this because the next progression should be 1 to 2 because this is coming into your view. But Tyler comes off 2, I think a little too quick and goes to 3, and this is what he's looking at. Well, this linebacker kind of was buzzing out into the flat. He's going to go ahead and undercut this comeback. Tyler's lucky because if he throws this on time, good chance that this is picked. And look at what's open in the middle of the field. Right, exactly. So that one seemed like it was a progression issue. And then once again, this is just going to be pressure. You're going to have somebody open in the middle of the field potentially right here. All right, he's in breaking on like a skinny post. No chance to even find this. He's flush from the pocket. Got to question that on 1st and 10. Trying to go a little bit deeper, nothing. There was no built-in kind of like hot route in that offense on that particular play. When everybody blitzed, everybody's doing like 20 yards downfield. So that might be able to help you on what you're seeing. At least that's what I saw this week. Mi amici, Guido Semplici. What's going on, Paisan? How difficult could it be to merge a Mario Gaddis running scheme with Lashlee route concepts? Is it only a matter of will, or are there some practical hiccups? I don't necessarily think there's a lot of hiccups. I think it's just a conscientious decision by the staff to allow it to happen. So let's go to the film. This is what you're talking about, okay? Gaddis's run game, but there's a caveat to that because they're actually going to go ahead. They're going to pull some linemen, right? But when North Carolina State aggressively plays downhill, they took an easy button. This was called a pass option, an RPO. They took a simple stop on the outside. Easy offense. All right, keep moving. Now, against Middle Tennessee State, this is going to be a successful run. Now, pay attention right here. You don't think these are easy buttons? Look at this. Look at the space out here. Now, this is going to be a successful run. That's true. But if you just simply did a stop like on the previous play, this is going to be effective as well. So the pass options attached to runs from Lashlee, I think, could benefit this team moving forward. The other thing is some easy button choice routes, right? And this is what I mean by choice. Guido, at the snap of the ball, they're reading this. If this DB went deep, he was going to go short. Is exactly what he did. If the DB pressed up, he was going to go deep. So he just sits, find a little soft spot in the area. Very simplistic, but very super effective. Now go to Middle Tennessee State. This is a 1st and 10, and you're calling a double move, which should be questionable because the guy is like 10, 12 yards off. So you need time to get this. The blitz is coming. Nobody sits this down. You're trying to do a double move deep. Tyler gets swallowed up. There's nothing really he could do there because you were asking the routes to go too far downfield. Again, easy button. Think about this. Look at the concept. It's 1st and 10. You're trying to get guys downfield. They're pressuring you. They're blitzing you. How easy would it have been to just take a stop again at the top of the screen? Something here. Look, everybody's trying to go really deep. Tyler, he doesn't even have a chance here. He's flushed again. Ball away, he's got to try to make something happen, and of course, it looks bad on his part. Thanks for the question. This question is coming in from Anton at Hurricanes Time on Twitter. Is there any strategy to running the ball when the box is loaded with 7+ players? Everyone focused on poor passing concepts versus Middle Tennessee State, but the running plays perplexed me. Seemed they had no chance from the start, 1.6 yards per carry. How to better attack the run game going forward? Well, that's a great question. If you're going to attack those 7, 8+ man boxes like you talked about, and I found an example, initially at 6, you could constitute this defender in the passing game, but it's going to be a run blitz, and now here you go. He creeps down into the box. You have 7. Now, it's cover 3 on the back end as well, at least the way I see it. And when you have this cornerback, because the condensing of the sets, well, he's going to get downhill in the run game too. He's your contained defender, so now you got that 7+ like you're talking about. If you're going to run into these looks, no problem. You could be effective in it. You just got to make sure you're blocking who you need to block. In this case, Mike linebacker, he feints A, then washes back to B, and they just lose sight of him. And I think that kind of redirection caught the Miami Hurricanes. This play gets kind of swallowed up, really not an effective run. What can you do, though? So let's provide some answers. Well, let's go last year, shall we? One of the things you notice, spread isn't necessarily bad. Tight's not necessarily bad, but when you want to go ahead and try to get the run game, it's a lot of time easier when you have the numbers. So look at what happens to the box once you get a slot receiver kind of like +2 out there. And this is 2 runs in 1. I want to kind of expand your perspective, Anton, because, yes, this is a pass option, but is it really? Tyler has the ability to go ahead and give this run. He likes what he sees outside in terms of leverage. They're going to swallow this up if they give it, so he just gives a toss play. To me, that was not necessarily a bubble. It was just a toss. You want to make it sound more physical? and what happens, right? You just get outside, you run away from the numbers, and you get a first down. Thanks for the question. I mean, it's a simple question enough, and I actually did my due diligence and research and got some video clips, and I was like, all right, I'm going to respond to Chill. Oh, it's better, Duck, wanting to run the ball. Of course. Why are the Canes stuck in shotgun on short yardage and on goal line? Why doesn't the team practice QB under center? Well, Ducky, the reality is the game has morphed to a shotgun exclusive kind of thing in college. I would venture to say that 90-95% of college football is in that variety. Now, University of Miami does come underneath center, and this was against Middle Tennessee State when the score was 45-24. Just some power football, just get downhill. Now, you run the risk, though, because Miami in the same look under center, of fumbling the snap. Now, this was long ago against Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman gets the ball. So some offensive coordinators don't necessarily want to run the risk of doing that, and when the rest of their offense is in shotgun the whole game, they feel, why do I have to run the risk of a turnover? And listen, it's not just the University of Miami. This is inside the goal line, and I got Alabama. I mean, Alabama's running from the gun too. They're going to go ahead and get the first down. They're going to continue to roll. So that hopefully answers some of your question. It's not the end-all, be-all. You lose some things when you kind of come under center. You don't have the ability to really run like a quarterback power play. You lose some things when you're in the shotgun. Yeah, you can't do that traditional play-action pass with the back turn to the defense, and maybe you suck those in. So it's give or take. You got to live in both avenues. Thanks for the question, Ducky. This question's coming in from Tyler at Tyler's Corner. With all the talk this week about Lashlee's system last year, many people were calling TVD a one-read quarterback. Is this true? Does this attribute to his struggles this season? Tyler, this is not directed at you, and I've heard this criticism too. Is he a one-read quarterback? The answer is false, unequivocally false. And I think the misconception is you watch a quarterback and you forget what the offensive coordinator was asking them to do, and that needs to paint a bigger picture. And what do I mean by that? Let's go to the first play of the game. All right, on offense. Tight set. What did Josh Gaddis want Tyler Van Dyke to do? He wanted him to do a one-step drop. So let me tell you what happens on a one-step drop. I don't have time to survey the field. My offensive coordinator says one step, get the ball out, make a predetermination prior to the snap. And I think people are forgetting that too, that the processing isn't post-snap always too. A lot of the processing is pre-snap. Well, Tyler decides to go ahead and throw this double out concept to the boundary. We've had a lot of debate there because you left one cornerback by design in a prime position to make an interception on 2 wide receivers, not just one. Now, check down's not in view. What did you want me to do? You want me to go ahead and pump that, then necessarily hit that in the middle of the field? Regardless, yes, stared down, interception. Let's go to another play from Josh Gaddis. Here we go. Seems like Tyler's staring in that direction. It's what my offensive coordinator asked me to do. He's asking me to do a high-low read. I'm not reading necessarily a wide receiver and staring at him. I'm reading a defender. And right here, this is what it is. This is going to be a low read. This is going to be the high read. 2 on 1 on the low side. So Tyler astutely goes ahead and throws this to the high side. Now, this defender gets sucked out in kind of like a match variety. So he, I think, impedes the vision back here. But it hits him in the chest. Drop ball. What did you want Tyler to do? And finally, let's see. Let's just put this to bed. You tell me how many times he's reading here, right? Because what is the concept? The concept, right? He looks right, looks middle, then comes all the way back across to go get Jalen Knighton. And I know Jalen Knighton gets all the superlatives for this run last year versus North Carolina, right? But let's go back to it again because you tell me if he's a one-read guy. Not even close. Not even close. This is going to be part of the X's and Rows series this week, but I wanted to go ahead and introduce these clips and address one of the elephants in the room this week. Rhett Lashlee's offense was called gimmicky, and in order to compete with the Alabamas and the Georgias of the world, you need to have more of a modern offense. Well, what I don't think is a gimmick is the ability to have an effective offense. And speaking of Alabama, why don't we watch them? Because right here, this is going to be a called run play, but it has a pass option attached. Right here at the top of the screen, you could tell this is going to be a run if they want it. It's simple offense. Here at the top of the screen, they take it. First down. Tide is rolling. Now, go back to last year, right? University of Miami. Again, simple offense. At the top of the screen, yes, we missed Charleston Rambo, but this is what's known as a choice route. All the wide receiver has to do is just read the guy in front of him. When he backed off, he's going to sit. I can promise you if he was close, he was going to go deep. De'Ara King was the quarterback at the time. One guy misses. Effective offense, nothing too overly complicated. But time and time again, regardless of what system, NFL, you don't want to run gimmicky, just pay attention. Right here at the top of the screen, this is a straight called run play. Yes, Miami fails at the point of attack. You should have been able to go ahead and run this. You have the numbers, but you get beat inside in the interior. But you want to tell me if this is easy? This is easy. There's a lot of cushion. There's a lot of one-on-one, especially when a safety crashes. And MTSU did a lot of this too, where they were challenging on the outside, and Miami just simply doesn't take it. I don't care if you want to call Rhett Lashlee gimmicky, but if you want to call Rhett Lashlee gimmicky, then call Josh Gaddis what he is, rigid.